Keifi here. We all know this year will be a great year for everything Final Fantasy. We have a mainline title releasing in June, part 2 of the Remake series coming in the winter, and the almost inevitable announcement of an FF9 remake. It seems like it anyways, along with whatever else Square Enix decides to throw us along the way. So, out of all these titles, my mind is still often drawn to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with the multiple directions the story can take. And everyone has their own sets of hopes and expectations for this sequel that they've been building up in their minds since the original's ending. So, it'll be very interesting to see how this game is received amongst the fans when everything is said and done. With Rebirth in particular, we all want to know what new features will be included, what characters will be playable, and things like, what'll happen to our save files. So with this in mind, I've compiled a list of what I believe are the fanbase's top 5 hopes heading into the sequel that will be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. First off, and I think I speak for everyone when I say this, no more Whispers, or Arbiters of Fate, whatever you want to call them. Now to be honest, I was actually in the group of people who didn't mind their inclusion in Remake. I thought it was an interesting visual way to show newcomers to the series when a variation or a difference from the original timeline was happening. And honestly, it was kind of cool to face off against Destiny itself. But all that said, I feel the Whispers have already played their role to the fullest. To see them in another 2 games would be kinda tiresome. We don't need to see the Whispers every single time the party deviates from the OG path. So, with any luck, the party's victory against them in the finale is their last appearance. The second hope for Rebirth is also one I believe I share with many, and that is a playable Zack in some way, shape, or form. And let's be real, there are plenty of ways the development team can pull this off. Imagine playing as Zack during that infamous final battle against all those Shinra troops. Except this time, we can actually win the battle. And then showing us his experiences as he tries to take down Shinra, while also searching for Cloud and Aerith. We could switch from Cloud's party to Zack's party as both look for answers, and try to take down Sephiroth, before he can put his plans into motion. I mean, the story just writes itself. Playable Zack in Rebirth would satisfy many, and I still think there's a strong chance of this actually happening. The third hope I have is that every party member who was playable in the original game should also be playable in the remake, and that there be no optional party members. By this, I mean Vincent and Yuffie should be required to join your party as part of the main story. There will be no way to miss out on acquiring them. At the same time, I desperately hope characters like Red 13 and Catsif are playable, fully playable, to the same extent Cloud and everyone else is in Remake. We should be able to equip them with weapons, materia, and switch freely to use them during battles. The fourth hope for Rebirth concerns our save files. Many gamers of the Remake series would absolutely love the ability to be able to import our save data straight from Remake into Rebirth. I mean, imagine using all the same weapons, items, materia, all that, into the sequel that we had previously leveled up from the original, and our character levels carry over too. That would truly feel as though we are taking the next step in a grand adventure. And it would also encourage people to go back and play Remake to try to get all their weapons and levels to max before the next game if they haven't done so already. Fingers crossed on this one, though I really do hope everything regarding the party and character progression can be imported in some fashion into the sequel, Rebirth. The last hope I'll mention is with regards to the final boss of the game. I really hope it's not Sephiroth. I think it'd be a bit of a waste to have him as the final antagonist for every game in the trilogy. Even though I do expect to fight him throughout Rebirth a couple times, I hope the last fight is reserved for someone else. Someone like Nero, Vice, Genesis, or even Cloud or Zack, who've been taken over by Sephiroth. Just surprise us with the final boss and make it someone we really don't expect. So these are the 5 hopes for the upcoming sequel that will be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, that I believe many fans have. No more whispers, playable Zack, that all the OG characters be fully playable, transferable save files that we can import, and a final boss to end the game that's not Sephiroth. What I want to know is, do you share any or all of these hopes? And what else do you hope to see in Rebirth that I may not have mentioned? Just comment down below, and be sure to hit like, share, or subscribe if you feel up to it today. Even more importantly though, have yourself a great day. May your heart be your guiding key, my friends. And as always, happy gaming.